Of?
I think you said that in terms of the form of the halves, I think you said you're terrified of it.
Origin's a different beast, so regardless of form or, just coming into camp, putting on a blue or a maroon jersey brings out the best in you. So we won't be falling into any sort of sense of complacency or falsehoods, so we'll be prepared. Now, our focus is on making sure that, we provide the right environment for our players to succeed.
You're planning for Paul Gallen to play?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we can't predict. But I know that, without any injuries or suspensions this weekend, our team is pretty well settled.
So you named your team in your own head at this point?
I think anyone from the media or anybody outside the media or can pick my footy team, so won't be too many surprises really. Sorry, is Josh? He's certainly in contention, so he's due. He's playing really good footy. So in my mind, and I know that we had a selectors meeting beginning of the week, in their mind that he's right up there.
Now, what have you made of Will Chambers' form this season? Have you pretty much witnessed something
He's
about
he deserves to be in the Australian side because of his form. So exceptional start to the year. Again, Will will be selected. He'll be in the Queensland side. He made one of the best debuts I've ever seen from a player at Origin level. So he's definitely there.
It's a different feeling, around your camp this year, and they're not used to losing Origin series. Have you noticed a difference?
Well, for us, we know we have to prepare better. We were beaten by a really good footy side last year, really desperate. Desire was great, their passion was great, executed better than us. So, all in all, we've got to perform better, So I'm pretty sure, talking to the players, that they're motivated. They want to come into camp and they want to do well. They're all competitive. We're all competitive at that level. So I know that we'll go on the field game 1 in Sydney, ready to go.
Mel, did you take a bit of pride in Will's evolution this season, considering you guys gave him the start of footy last year?
Well, I've known Will for a long, long time. Even seen him as a kid. Great kid, great fella. And he's reaching his potential. He's in a good, really strong system with some really good support around him with his teammates and his coaching staff, and he's starting to reach his full potential. So good on him. It's very, very, very pleasing.
Now, you've seen, I imagine you'll be pretty pleased to see Billy Slater make such a great return last weekend. I know there's always speculation about whether GI or Billy, but are you all pretty settled on it?
Yeah, pretty well settled. Billy knows he'll be playing one. So, like I said, from a coaching perspective, we've got everything crossed at the moment. We've got one more game to get through with all our players, and like to obviously see everyone healthy and fit to be selected. And if they are, well, they'll be there.
No one's your team situation, but will you throw your hand into the ring potentially to coach Australia?
At this stage, I'm committed to the Queensland program. So I think I said last week around the Australian job, I feel it should be a statesman type appointment. I think it should be a full-time position, and I think Sheensy has done a fantastic job with the Australian side. So until it becomes a full-time gig, well, then I don't think people would covet it. I'm very happy with being involved with Queensland, and and it's one of the best jobs in the world, really, when you talk about sport, particularly sport in Australia. To be involved at Origin level, for me is a privilege.
Is it too big a job, perhaps, to do Origin and national?
Oh, you couldn't do that. I think there's loyalties, question marks around loyalty as well. There's perceptions. So you want to take that right out of it. So the Australian gig should be just an Australian gig, and that's why I think it should be a full-time position.
You're about to sit for a weekend of watching your guys run around, hopefully not get hurt. Do you look forward to a time in the future where whoever's Queensland coach might actually have a free time with their players and not have to worry about them playing in between matches?
No, I think the way the system's made, we always improve the systems and the draw, but the National Rugby League competition's very strong at the moment. You don't know whether from week to week whether your team's going to win or not. Some of the teams you think we'll make the 8 down the bottom of the ladder, you know. So it's a really, really exciting competition. So this is just part of it, you know. I mean, I think you talk to the players, their loyalties lie with the clubs. And the bonus is if for them playing really well and is representative football. You know, we've got that pathway in our game where, you know, if you play well for your club, you can play for your state and play for your country. So I think that's sort of perfect scenario, really. I was very excited about it. Didn't expect it, you know. He's obviously worked really, really hard to get back on the field. You know, he loves the game. You know, he's gone through a pretty horrid time, you know, personally, with personal issues, and he's handled that extremely well. He's maturing as a person. You know, I got full of admiration for Darius, and he's got one more game for the Bronx against the Cowboys on Friday. We hope he gets through it, and he'll be picked for Queensland.
Will changes will improve the team in their 30s?
30's old, eh? Yeah, it is. I mean, that's part of our planning. You know, Brent Tate got hurt last year, so we had to introduce a player, and obviously it is an ageing footy team, so we've got to make some pretty smart decisions around that succession planning. So yeah, Will's definitely there, and Will is definitely, you know, on the horizon when Justin does, you know, retire. So we've got some other good candidates coming through too with Dane Gagai. You know, he's nearly due. You know, Dale Copley when he gets back and plays again from injury. So we've got some really outstanding talent.
No, this is a neutral venue, Mel, but given most Victorians aren't that fond of New South Welsh, do you think this is almost like a home game in terms of support?
What I believe is that the players are looking very much forward to playing the MCG. It's an iconic stadium. We don't get that opportunity to do that. So I know that the players will want to come here and play. You know, Laurie and I had the opportunity back in '94, but I think rugby league's a bit more set now in Melbourne, certainly around the Storm and what the Storm's success. So, you know, it's going to be a fantastic game. We've got to get to game 1 first. We're in Sydney, you know, so it'd be nice to come here 1 up.
Mel, were you in preparation as a team for game 1? Will it change anything from last year?
We're going to prepare as if like we prepared for game 3 last year, you know. So that's my aim, and hopefully we'll get through everyone will be, like I said, fit and healthy. We get a full week with the team training, and that's what occurred game 3 last year, and I think we produced a result because of that.
What sort of look training-wise do you get on the MCG before?
Yeah, we're here on the morning before, you know, train at the MCG, so we get to have a look at it before we actually play on it, which is fantastic. We're coming down for the whole week. There's a bit of promotional activity, but you know, we want to experience what Melbourne has to offer, you know, culturally, and you know we are rugby league people, but you know we do have a bit of culture about us as well. So we'll catch a few movies and a bit of theatre. You know, we love the dining, you know, the fine dining, that type of stuff. You know, so we have improved. You know. Sorry. Oh, perhaps we might do that, yeah, you know, so particularly if we're in a box or something, you know, so sipping a nice red wine or something, you know, eating salmon on Bickies.
You're excited about the depth in the halves at the moment, obviously Ben Hunt and Daly Cherry Evans, and then obviously JT and Kroenke as well.
Yeah.
Must give you great comfort and obviously a few headaches too.
Yeah. Michael Morgan, you know, Anthony Milford, you know, so yeah, we're pretty healthy in the halves department, fullback department, and probably the hooker department. So when you talk about rugby league, that's our spine. So we've got great depth there, and the dilemma for me is to, you know, when and if we need to start to turn that around and bring in the new players. So it's a good problem to have, to be honest with you.
Mel, have you thought about changing the selection criteria to include Pacific Islanders?
No, I think it's black and white now, you know, so there's no grey areas. So, you know, the criteria at the moment is pretty solid, and I'm happy, you know, going forward with that.